I've mentioned before how police forces are no longer fit for service. Many subscribers have said the same thing, but yet we still get the bootlickers who will come on and defend the police, praising them for their fantastic work. Well, an HMICFRS inspection has found that half, if not more, of UK police forces are and have been failing to meet even their basic requirements, such as answering 999 calls and the lesser worried about aspect of their job, investigating crimes. Over the past year, the HMICFRS says that it inspected 18 police forces, and 11 of those 18 struggled to respond adequately to calls, and half of them failed to investigate crimes reported to them. Failed to investigate crimes reported to them. Hey, bootlickers, come here, come here, come here. Do you realise that the police's main priorities are preventing crimes and investigating crimes, and yet they can't even do that? But you come on here defending them. And don't give me that excuse of being underfunded. They have more plod now than they've had for ages, but they're getting worse at their jobs. How do you explain that, bootlickers? Come on, explain it to me. Explain how they can have more police hired, but less crimes investigated. I'm waiting. Now, as you likely already know, multiple police forces have recently been placed under special measures by Her Majesty's Inspectorate of Constabularies. The Metropolitan Police, Greater Manchester Police, Cleveland Police, Gloucestershire Police, Staffordshire Police and Wiltshire Police are all under special measures because they simply cannot do their jobs properly. And do you know what? I say that with conviction because they all have failures of the very basic principles of policing, such as investigating crime, supporting victims, recording crime, responding to the public, and even protecting vulnerable people. The basics. But, you know, they're doing the best they can under the circumstances, aren't they? No, they're not. They have allowed common purpose and personality disorders to infiltrate them, which has made them less of a police service and more of a very, very dangerous gang whose almost sole intention is to cover up for one another. HMIC's Wendy Williams said in her report, "I have serious concerns about Wiltshire Police's performance. The force is missing opportunities to protect vulnerable and repeat victims of crime. It needs to improve the way it manages calls so all vulnerable people are identified. Some domestic abuse victims have received an unacceptable level of service and have continued to remain at risk." So, come on, bootlickers. Why are the police missing so many opportunities to protect people? Why are they failing to identify vulnerable people? Why are so many people left at risk? And as I've said, don't blame the lack of funding or lack of police officers, because this kind of stuff is the roots of being a police officer. It's not a new department that's been set up for the Chief Constable's buddy. These are practices that should encompass the very fibre of being a police officer. So what the fuck is taking up the police's time and attention to have it taken away from these very, very basic principal areas of policing? Wiltshire Police and Crime Commissioner Philip Wilkinson, and I must say I applaud this particular action, has given himself and Chief Constable Keir Pritchard 3 months to turn things around within the county, saying that if we cannot demonstrate that we have put in place the necessary measures, my position and that of the Chief Constable will become vulnerable, and if we do not deliver, we should consider our positions. Although considering and actually doing something about it are two different things. And I'll believe it when I see it, bearing in mind, apart from the Home Office, the Police and Crime Commissioner is the only other person able to fire a Chief Constable. Although they are all best buddies at the local lodge, and I have yet to see a Police and Crime Commissioner actually sack a Chief Constable. But I'll refrain from making a judgment just yet, and hope that if they fail to turn it around, that Wilkinson makes his final act as PCC to bin bag Chief Constable Keir Pritchard. Now, if you ask me, and I know you're not, but I'm going to tell you anyway, if 11 of 18 forces are ranked as inadequate, then in my opinion they should all be in special measures. forced to improve, rather than the current process of letting them get away with not giving a crap, in the full knowledge that they can simply resign when they want before they get sacked and retain their nice cushy pension. Now, even though the Met, Greater Manchester Police, Cleveland, Gloucestershire, Staffordshire and Wiltshire are all under special measures, Bedfordshire, Cambridgeshire, Dorset, Kent, West Midlands, Thames Valley, Northamptonshire and Cheshire are all deemed as inadequate or needing improvement as well. Now, it doesn't help garner any of that trust the police keep going on about, does it? Knowing that so many police forces are shit.